It pulls you in and doesn't let go.
Okay, hello. Can everybody hear me? We are reporting live here from the Will Global HQ with the man of the hour, the man of the decade, Jacob Savage. Thank you so much for coming, Jacob.
Thank you.
Okay.
The Isaac War Room.
Yeah, talk into the bench.
Okay.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is the. We have another war
Cheers.
room. You still haven't been to the new war room, actually.
Yeah,
have you?
the
villa. Yeah.
I've been to the villa. I haven't been to like the
Oh, you haven't?
recording studio.
Right. You've been here before, though. Yeah. Anyway, so Jacob, everybody, if in case you've been living under a rock, Jacob wrote the incredible piece called "The Lost Generation" in Compact Magazine, and it absolutely exploded beyond all reckoning. Probably the biggest one of these I've ever seen. You know, every 3 months there's one of these. You know, this is the biggest one.
Gooning style.
What?
Gooning style.
What is that?
I was like, remember the Harper's Gooning piece?
No. Oh yeah. The last one I remember was the new Power line is 140K. That was the
I
last
don't think I
one.
even remember that.
Yeah, that was the one before. But anyway, it's absolutely, as all of your pieces are, this is the thing that I think really sets you apart, is two things. One, the sheer force of the data that you collect is astounding. And I think that people don't understand that. They don't get that you are processing this data yourself. They don't get that.
Yeah.
They don't understand what that means. They're like, they think that you just like Googled it, you know? And then the second thing is, not only do you do that, you also artfully weave it together. It's peak magazine writing, the likes of which simply does not exist anymore. Because normally, I think the reason it doesn't exist is you need an editor pushing a writer to do it, right? Or you just do it yourself somehow. So what I'm most curious about is I want people to really understand how fucking hard it is to get these numbers where you're saying in 2005 the Academy had 85% white, blah blah blah, and then by 2025 it was 38%. Those types of data, how do you get that?
I mean, it was hard. I mean, first, thanks for having me. I will say to everyone on the internet, I'm not doing many of these. This is a personal favor.
Yes, thank you. Very much appreciated. Very much
Declined some big ones, but this one, because I think I sound pretty dumb.
Maybe here, bring this closer. I don't think you sound dumb.
Basically, it was the reason partially that I focus on these three industries, which is because they were so relentlessly clear about what they were doing at every step. Like, I think this happened in a lot more industries, but, I asked Isaac, for instance, if he had any anecdotes about advertising, and he did, but
I see why that
it was
is.
hard, but
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
no sort of
Right.
There were a couple DEI reports, for instance, in advertising that sort of showed some things, but you just didn't have the level of data that you had for Hollywood, academia especially, just sort of relentlessly documented what they were doing.
So where did that data come from? So say, like, for example, when you're talking about the the short list of fellows, how do you find that?
I mean, some of it is just like literally counting, which
So you like literally count.
which you feel a little
It's amazing.
racist for, but at the same time, like that's what like the Annenberg Inclusion Center also does. So like, why can't I?
Right.
It's fascinating. So part of it is that, and just sort of trying to. The hardest part of that is actually just figuring out people's birthdays or whether they're millennials. Or not.
Right.
which is, you know, you'd spend like 2 hours trying to like track down some guy's like interview from 2012 where he says that he's 29.
Right, and you gotta like track that shit down.
So
It's like really hard.
That was,
yeah, no,
I mean,
for sure.
that was, but yeah, I think that the thing is like, I don't like to make assertions that aren't backed up by some empirical reality. And I think, you know, that is sort of what made the piece to some extent, although people are still attacking it, you know, because, oh, hey, look, like, you know, we took some fake census figures and claimed that like overall white men are the same, which I think if you really drill down, it probably wouldn't be
Wait,
true.
what is that? What are they doing?
Like Matt Brunig did a whole little thing where he like did a bait and switch and was like, white men's earnings in like between 2015 and 2024 like actually didn't see much of a change at all. And it's like,
Oh.
well, what about those industries? What about, you know, if I, you know, had, you know, I probably make, I'm a ticket scalper.
Right, yeah,
Like,
that's not
like,
the point
it's
you're
like,
making. Yeah,
you
you're
know
not
what I mean?
talking about income. That's not what you're saying. Yeah,
so it was a bit of a
Right.
bait and switch, but
right.
the yeah, it's tough to sort of fully quantify what happened across America in every industry, but I think that the fact of the matter is just like academia, Hollywood, journalism were constantly sort of putting out numbers to prove how good they were doing,
I see.
which made it much easier to like make an ironclad case.
Yeah, so you like used those numbers
Yeah.
against it.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of them like they scrub them, and you like find way back machine links. You like, but that was probably the yeah. So then, and then like you know, I also talked to a lot of people because I wanted some sort of proof from the inside also.
Well, and right, and so that's the other thing that you did that absolutely nobody else could do, which was you got these industry insiders to go on the record with you and actually talk about what they were going through. And so how hard was that? Like, did you just call up? Like, how did those conversations go? Did some people like just say fuck off or?
Oh yeah, like a lot of people
yeah.
said fuck off.
Right.
Like I'm just not interested.
Yeah, they just
I
say
can't
no.
do it.
Yeah.
Um,
So how did you find the ones that said yes?
I mean, some people were friends of friends. Some people were strangers who had like read previous things that I had written, and were interested. And sort of also the thing is once you talk to like a couple people, like they'll kind of refer you to more people. And I think part of the article that I wasn't quite able to execute is just sort of the entire general feeling of being a white male millennial, which is like, even I talked to people who made it, in some form or other, like you're a tenured professor, like you are a screenwriter with credits, like there is still like just this like weight hanging over you because for 10 years, like every time you succeeded, you felt as if like this was despite something,
Mhm.
or and that's like or maybe you think that maybe you could have succeeded more had this culture been different.
Right. Well, I think what was so incredibly resonant, and this is what all the people who love the piece have been saying, is most people, like, we've talked about this before, I think most millennial white men haven't really sat down and actually thought, how did this affect me? Like, how did this era, which we all knew what was going on, right? We all could see it. We all heard it day after day. I have endless texts that I've saved from various people saying, yeah, sorry, no white guys, no white guys. I mean, I remember I interviewed at the agencies because I had, vague connections.
Hollywood dreams.
I moved out here. I was top of my class, law review, passed the bar, come from a theater fucking family. You would think, I'm fucking Jewish, you would think, like, I would be a fucking blue chip, right? Like, you would think at the agency, they'd be like, hell yeah, this guy, get him.
1975, you're with like Michael Ovitz.
Yeah, like, dude, get him in here. And I remember there was this weird, like, you're in ICM, remember, I interviewed at ICM, and you're in this thing, and it's like, yeah, there's this weird vibe of we're like, yeah, we just can't do it, man. Sorry, we just can't do it. We can't give you a shitty $38,000 a year job after you come out of law school. It's like, you gotta understand, 40 years previously, that would have been a sure thing. And then now, so then I had to fucking figure it out on my own. You know, I had to like do all these end arounds and shit, which is fine. Like for me personally, it's fine. I wouldn't really want it any other way. Like I was never gonna fit in anyway, personally. But for other people, like people like you who like did all the right things, it's like, you know, I don't think most men have really thought, this completely changed the trajectory of my life, like completely, you know? And it's like, that's just amazing to think about. And you were really the first one to put that into words. And your prior two pieces also kind of did that a little bit, but this was like really the masterpiece, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I know like a lot of your audience are sort of hard right lunatics. I say that affectionately.
That's not even really
I
true.
say that affectionately.
That's not really true.
But I think that the thing that I'll also say is like, I wrote this piece, I conceive of this piece as like addressed to people who are capable of changing their mind about this.
Yeah, so tell us about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are points like, you know, you write a draft, like some things are a little too angry, some things are a little, you know, too out there, and you dial things back because, you know, the point, and the truth is, like, I actually am 100% on board with my own conclusion. Like, I don't really, like, blame, like, the women and the people of color who, like, took these positions.
Which is something people took great issue
right,
with.
but
that you did not
But
blame.
at the same time, like, I am, like, generally kind of angry, obviously. Like, and if someone, like, loudly sort of calls me, like, a mediocre white guy
Okay, make sure to get.
for you know, I find that, you know, I will be like personally angry at them.
Yeah.
But
The
sorry.
confidence. If only I had the confidence of a mediocre white
Yeah,
guy.
it takes work twice as hard, and, you know.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you know, at the same time, like, wait, sorry, what was the train of thought again?
No, the train of thought was just how much did you conceive of this as?
Oh yeah, no, it's just
Yeah.
So I think the idea is like, obviously, you know, there even like liberal white male millennials like know this has happened.
Yes.
But and the point is not really to convince them or you know, like people on the right who for sure know this has happened. The point is that there is like a center that exists that sort of thought this was all fine.
Right.
And I think from a moral perspective, from like an American, you know, we should all have like, you know, just decent opportunities. Like
It's infuriating.
Like it's infuriating.
Americans
Yeah.
hate that shit, man.
Yeah.
Americans hate
Like Americans, like,
discrimination.
the
They
truth
really
is, the
do.
truth is
Yeah.
like most Americans, like of all races and shit, like hate that shit.
Well, because we're again, I've said this many times. We're a nation of kulaks, right? We're like hustle bros.
Yeah.
Like America's like a hustle bro, and the idea that you can be a hustle bro and then get fucked because of your race, that just pisses Americans off like really deeply. Like they fucking hate.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, like it polls terribly.
Yeah.
Like it's all stupid, and like I think in the end, you know, you have to try to convince the people who, you know, do still exist in these institutions that this was bad, and convince the people like the Trump administration that they can actually take action.
So do you believe in that? Do you believe this? You know, this it's just unbelievable what you've created. You literally like. I mean, I hate this is like very lame, but you like change, like, you know, I hate when people say change the world. I want to change the world. Like you literally did change the world though, because
I mean, it's all TBD. Like, I mean, part of me thinks it's like all for naught, and we're just going to be doing this like endless shit till like the
well,
day
of,
that I die.
that's obviously
Uh,
true. Yes, but
like back and
yeah,
forth,
no,
like-
nothing ever. I'm a nothing ever happens, bro. Nothing is ever going to happen. You know, but that's a different issue. But the EEOC, you know, comes out and says, hey, give us your tired, your poor, your huddled white male civil rights cases. Are you for that? Like, do you
I
want
think
that to be?
no.
fun?
I think what needs to happen personally is like, look, am I in favor of like literally 1 million lawsuits?
Yeah.
Like,
Are you in favor of that?
no, I don't
No.
think that would be insane and like just I don't think it's going to happen either. So I don't. It's sort of like a moot point.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Trump administration needs to make an example out of a couple of institutions, which
Right.
they failed to do. Sort of when they first took over, they came to these like bullshit accords with academia.
Right.
Like the point of, suing Penn isn't so that they like pay down part of the national debt. like it's like no, because you want changes both in in terms of who is like these places are all monocultures and you want to change that. I think that is bad for them and it's bad for the country and you need to like make it work. So I look, my personal suggestion is I think they should sue a couple of big universities, put them through discovery.
But why universities? Why not companies? Why not like
I think
Warner Brothers?
Well, universities got public money, so it makes everything like a lot easier.
Oh, right, yeah,
Like,
good point,
like
yeah.
more, like sure, like you can sue Warner Brothers, they'll like settle, and they won't do it anymore. Like the thing is, like I actually think Hollywood, for however woke and terrible it is in like many ways, like I don't think ever deep, like there's not like a deep commitment to this stuff.
No, yeah, that's what I've always said. It's like I think that's something that the right gets most wrong is they think the people inside these organizations, like the executive at CAA or at Warner Brothers, is woke. They're not. The wokeness for them is like the fun. It's like the hot sauce.
Look, and look, among people our age, maybe there's like some minor executives who actually are woke, but like
But
they're not
it's
the
not
ones.
really.
And this is like also the critique from the left of this was that this actually didn't change that much, and I think that in some ways is true. Like what people on the left are like, why did we even bother since like all these institutions are still completely fucked and and that's great. You shouldn't have bothered. Like admit, like take the L and move on. But they still won't really take the L. They'll just say like it wasn't that bad.
So what do you think happened to Hollywood? Why is Hollywood so completely royally like fucked now? I can't get a straight answer from anybody.
I think it's a bunch of things. I think part of it is like they stopped, for a good period, they stopped making things that like appealed to the generic, like average American. When you turn into a TV show, you're not tuning into like adults don't really have the patience for like after school specials about racism. And they did that sort of irrespective of the bottom line for a while. So I think that's part of it.
They called that the ZERP era, right? The ZERP.
Yeah, no,
ZERP phenomenon.
and I think that the bigger problem actually is consolidation. Whereas if you were a small production company and you had a single TV show or 2 TV shows in development, you needed those shows to work for your company to survive. Like you want those 2 shows to be the best possible shows that like you can sell to the American public. You have someone like Netflix, the only thing they care about is PR. You have Amazon, the only thing they care about is PR. Like you have Apple, the only thing they care about is PR. Like none of these people care about the quality.
Yeah, they don't believe in it. They don't believe
No.
in it.
And
They
like
don't believe in quality. They believe in audience service. You remember, we've talked about this a zillion times, but there's a great New Yorker profile of Bella Bajaria, the content head. And in the first paragraph, she's on the record saying, I don't believe in objective quality. She says, I believe in audience service, I don't believe in quality. And it's like, okay, well, that's right.
But they're also not even audience servicing. I mean, so you have that. I mean, that is the fundamental problem. Is that like if a TV show, it's 2020, like your main concern is that like you're not like boycotted in your stock tanks because like you said something wrong. So who can you're just gonna like these are lost leaders. These shows that like are bad, and that culture sort of permeated the whole thing for a while, and it's honestly like hard to say like I'm to be like I'm rooting for David Ellis and like what a cool guy, but Netflix destroys everything it touches, like literally everything, HBO still allows like flashes of people to be who they are and good.
Yeah, brief flashes.
And I think David Ellison, unlike the people at Netflix, like actually likes movies. Like
Right.
at least he actually likes movies.
What happened to his sister?
She
Wasn't it-
got
what happened to
yeah.
her?
She
What
was
happened to
the main Ellison.
I know, yeah. What happened to Anna Perna? It was like pre-A24.
Yeah,
and
Anna
then
Perna was crushing
yeah,
it. I think they like. It's weird. I think it's weird that Larry was like, you know, I'm gonna take away the billions from you and give them to like David.
Yeah, yeah. He's like,
It's all lost. You know, like it's like Anna Perna could lose money for the rest of time.
yeah, like what happened? Right, and they were pre-A24.
Yeah.
A24. Like they were the original one. I know that was really weird.
But
So still, no one seems to know what happened to Hollywood. I have asked everybody this fucking question. No one can
it's
fucking answer
consolidation.
It makes no sense.
Plus no longer caring about the quality of the product. I think that's.
It's tech takeover. But why would tech takeover kill the money? That's what I don't get.
Because now that tech is taken over, like there are no more outlet. You know, it's not like you turn on your TV. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to like what Canopy, the library app.
I've always seen that on my road call.
You know, because it's a monopoly. The point, I mean, like, the point is, it's like a monopoly at this point.
Well, right, but why is the money not there anymore? Like, why?
Because
why
once
once
you're a monopoly, you can stop spending money and still, like, if Netflix only has to spend $5 billion instead of $12 billion on content, like, to keep
Yeah,
up.
and that's
So-
why they don't play by any of the union rules and shit.
Yeah, no, look, my wife is a costume designer.
Right.
You know, like Netflix. You know, this is a good anecdote. She once worked on that '90s show, which was the spin-off to that '70s show, and her boss, who had been the original costume designer for that '70s show, her rate in 2021 or whatever was the same rate that it had been in 1998.
Yeah, that's insane. That's really crazy. That's really and for like less days or whatever. Probably.
Yeah, no. So like the whole thing. I mean, it's dying, and like in some ways, it like deserves to die.
It
Like,
does deserve to die.
You know, the question is like, what will replace it?
Several people accused us of having Asian wives. Did you see that?
No.
No Asian wives over here,
No,
guys. Suck it. Just white.
Well, for Isaac. Maybe just another joke.
Oh yeah, but she's blonde. She's pretty goyish looking, at least. No, my wife is white. Fuck you, fucking bastards. No, so okay. I actually do want to get back into the piece though, because this piece is so powerful, and it's really. I think it's just why do you think that people have such a incredibly strong like reaction to this piece? Like really, genuinely, it is unbelievable how fucking strong people have reacted to this fucking thing. You got the fucking vice president of the United States retweeting it. What's also funny is that everybody retweeted not the piece, they retweeted the thread,
Yeah.
which goes to show like this is what my agency does. We make things into threads. That's very
Will, I was a former.
He was a former
Will
employee.
employee, so,
Yeah.
you know.
So, but why? Like, why this? Why now? This is what everybody's trying to like find conspiratorial reasons. It's like, oh, it's because you're Jewish. It's because you're liberal. It's because of all these fucking things. I don't think it's any of that. I think you just did the work nobody else did.
No, I think it's telling a story well, look, I think it's something that, like, again, I wrote the piece to appeal to people who exist in like a middle ground who are capable of being persuaded that like something that happened was bad.
So did you actually think about those people as you were writing?
Yeah, no, you know, part of it is like how is this piece going to be attacked? Like, what is the like main, you know, I can't, you know, I would love to say this, you know, write the piece about like all white American men, not just like elites, but I don't have data for that, and that's not my experience, and like.
Well, but that would have been terrible.
No,
I'm
no,
so
no,
glad you
no,
didn't
no,
do that.
but-
I'm so glad you didn't like go into the steel industry.
No,
that would have been
it's like,
so
but it's
lame.
like, it's like the thing is that you can't, you know, you have to appeal, you have to like anticipate, you know, what the objections of your readership are going to be, and yeah, the truth is, I think I actually anticipated fairly accurately both what the leftist and the rightist objections would be.
What has been the leftist objections most? Because I don't pay any attention. This is the blue sky objections, right?
Well, I mean, look, I think part of, like, here's the thing, like, I stand by my conclusion, I really do. Like, the truth is, like, I don't, like, bear ill.
What is the conclusion?
The conclusion is like, we got fucked. I don't wanna, this should not keep happening. Like, I don't, like, want trials and executions of like people who got jobs instead of me. I think some of them actually are perfectly qualified to do it. You know, that some people don't want to. Yeah, but
Yeah,
at the same,
I didn't take any issue with that
I think
at all.
I think to tone down the anger element is very important in something like this, because you're just going to alienate people who are otherwise on the fence or sort of have seen it themselves to some degree or other.
Well, did you see like one of the big critiques of I loved the end. I thought the end was fucking perfect. I thought it was exactly correct what you did in the end, and a lot of people took that as like.
No, it's like pussying out.
Yeah, they took it as you were pussying out. But I thought you were doing the opposite.
No,
of
but
pussying
what was
out. I
weird-
thought you were like
What's weird is like,
creating this. You didn't tie it up, right? You didn't tie it up. You didn't say, and then go vote for your local congressman. You know what I mean? Like you didn't give anybody any solution, which was great.
Here's the thing, like, I don't think there's an answer to what happened to us. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think like it's like, here's the thing, like most like elite white men are still basically fine. You know, they did something else, like they didn't get to live there.
Well, crypto, as you mentioned, crypto.
Yeah, no, people
yeah.
find outlets, people are resourceful. Some people like got completely screwed and like and it's horrible. But at the same time, you know, you can't live the rest, I live my life is pretty good. You know, like I'm a ticket scalper. It's stupid. It's like an incredibly stupid way to make a living. Like,
Yeah.
and I do it. Like I don't have like, I'm not like rich, I'm not poor, I have a family who I love, like, and
I mean, you're doing pretty, yeah, right. From a very superficial standpoint, you're doing extremely well. Like you are, but at the same time, you were sold a bill of goods that was not real.
right, no,
right? I mean, that's the thing.
I think that's
Yeah.
that's like the real like rub of it for
Right.
me is like, there were Jewish quotas in the 50s in a bunch
Right.
of industries, which I'm sure some of your fans are very happy with, and whatever, fine. But like the point, like
It's just
like
fun
the
to
truth is that some of phone call.
Uh-oh. It's
That's
the Talmudic
Steven.
network. Get off there now! Get off
The
of
truth
bus!
is, like, if you know where you can go in life, like at the age of 20, you can make informed decisions.
You're right, exactly, yes.
You can
Like,
make
that's what it
informed,
is.
you can
That's
make
what it is.
informed decisions about your life.
Yes.
Like if I had known
Totally.
that being like a Jewish guy in Hollywood
Would be the worst
would
possible
actually
thing.
be
Yeah, right.
bad.
Yeah.
In 2000,
You would have been able to make
I
a
would have
better
been like,
decision. Yeah.
fuck it, YOLO. I'm going to go into crypto or tech.
Well, do you know this quiet thing they just did with school loans? Yeah,
No.
nobody knows this. There's this new law they just passed. It's called, I wish I could remember what it's called. It's called like the, I can't remember. But basically now there's an institutional way to say that your college misled you about opportunities.
Which is good.
And you can get your loans
No,
discharged.
look,
because it's true, they did mislead you.
I don't
It's
feel
total
like
bullshit.
the USC School of Social Work charges $250,000 for for an MSW degree.
Yeah.
Like at best you can make $60,000.
Right, and you guarantee those brochures said something.
And again, that's all
not true.
boom. That's all
Yeah.
just like boomer.
Dude, I
shit.
got lured into it by, I got lured into this at Tulane. I went to Tulane Law. They told me when I went to Tulane Law, this is a national program. You're going to be able to be placed in any city in America. We have amazing connections to everything.
Forgive your loan.
No, dude, I'm trying to get them forgiven. I'm not. I am very against. I'm very socialist. The two things I'm still super Marxist on is healthcare and student loans. I'm very far left on both of those things.
Well, I think they should.
I think student loans are the biggest crock of shit ever. I think they should be completely abolished. Everybody should be forgiven immediately. Because it's not fair. You're,
No,
you're talking about an
no,
18-year-old
no.
kid. Give me a break. He wants to like go and like get something. He wants to like educate and like go bigger, and you're gonna fucking indent him for life.
No, it's
It's
crazy.
ridiculous.
Um,
And especially based on these fake promises, you know, again, it's the same thing. It's like what your article is saying is this bill of goods we've been sold that if you show up and you do all the right shit, you're going to be given a chance if you're good. That was not true.
Right, and I think, no,
right?
I
That's
think,
the thing.
I think, yeah, and I had a draft where I got more into this point, but I think that the difference, like, obviously this has happened with Gen Z as well, but the difference between us and Gen Z is like, you're a white guy graduating college in 2020, you want to go work at the New York Times, like, that is your dream at your peril. Like, you have all the information, you know what I mean? Whereas, I think we completely did not. Like, we graduated college
Yeah,
thinking
fake.
thinking
Totally
thinking
fake,
the
yeah.
world was like this like wide open
Yeah,
place.
100%.
And
Yeah.
it was not.
It was not really that.
And like
I
all
agree.
these people who got PhDs who like, you know, in my case moved out to you know,
Yeah, no, it was a completely crippling. I mean, you
like
use
like actual quotas would have been preferable. If in 2014 they'd just been like 10% in all of these industries, you would have been like, okay, this is the score. I know.
But it
it
was
now.
worse than
It was worse.
Way
It
worse
was
than
worse
quotas.
because it was
Far
like
worse.
radicalizing the
Yeah.
because you could never get the right number of like tiny white men to
Right.
like be in an industry.
Yeah.
Like it was never the correct. I mean, I make that point in the article, but it was never. You could never retire boomers fast enough
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
to make.
to make the numbers look good. you
Right.
know?
It's like yeah, it's still 40% white male, which is more than their population.
Yeah, and that's not fair. Okay, so what I have to ask you, obviously, is the cause. What caused this? Because I have my theory, which you already know, but why did this fucking happen, right? I mean, like, of course there's always panics, there's always cultural panics, and like, is this one that bad, like, all things considered? As you said, no, it's not that bad. It's not like people were being thrown in gulags, right? I mean, it wasn't that bad.
You're saying it sucks,
But at the same time, what caused it? Why did this happen?
Well, first, just in terms of the that bad, like it was bad, but you know, obviously there are things that have been worse, much
Right.
worse.
Yeah, no,
and
for sure.
like people are alive, they're living their lives. You know, part of growing up is realizing you don't achieve your dreams ever. But I think what in terms
Yeah,
of
I'm not trying to minimize that.
No, no, no,
I
no.
really am not.
No,
I'm
no,
just
but-
saying it's not like there wasn't like of all the sort of like crazed political witch hunts of history, like
No,
this
no,
one,
yeah,
at least
but-
people weren't actually being like physically fucking harmed, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, like,
you know,
yeah,
like,
like
we could get there, but we're not there yet.
I think part of what caused it was Obama was elected.
So yeah, a lot of
Like,
people
no,
are
no,
putting
no,
this
I think,
on
I think,
Obama.
I think that, I, no, I'm not, I mean, I blame Obama, some of the Obama, like, directives to colleges and stuff. But I think that sort of from a more macro cultural perspective, people thought we were about to enter a post-racial era. And then,
Mm.
you know, for, you know, a bunch of minority underclasses, like, it didn't happen. You know, Obama was elected, like, does that actually help the Michael Browns of the world? No, it makes no difference. And once sort of people realized that actually on the ground, things hadn't changed that much, you know, despite, you know, having a black president for 4 years. It's really all Obama's second term stuff. It became a moral prerogative to make that so.
Oh, that's not the reason.
Why? What's the reason?
Because that's not why. It's not like people were sitting around thinking, "Well, Obama didn't work out."
No, no,
Let's-
no, no,
now,
no, no,
like,
no,
We
no,
need
no.
to. We need to.
No,
write
I
that.
don't think there's like a conspiracy.
Right?
I don't think there's a
No, it's not about
conspiracy.
conspiracy. I'm just saying, like, people weren't thinking. That.
No,
It's
no,
not like
no,
the
but
people
the
you use
the implicit promise of Obama was like a post-racial society. That was like the implicit promise.
Okay. Yeah, I can. I know. Sure. Fine. I
That
accept
like that like we've like reckoned with our sins, et cetera, like now from now on everyone will, you know, thrive in according to their, you know, ability, et cetera.
Right.
And
Well, do you remember there's that amazing decision from, who was the non-Jewish justice?
there's only one left.
No. What was her name? She was like a
Sandra Day.
It's Sandra Day O'Connor. Remember Sandra Day O'Connor? There's this amazing
In
opinion.
25 years, it won't
Yes,
happen there.
yes. There's a, well, just so people know what we're talking about. There was a I can't see what they're saying. But no.
They're saying that I'm a gay lord.
Fucking gay lord. No. Sandra Day O'Connor, the justice, who was, I guess, an Irish lass, must have been. She had an opinion pro-affirmative action in, 2000?
1999.
Yeah. That she has a quote that says, "Surely in 25 years,
Right.
we will no longer need affirmative action because the racial injustice will have been corrected. And since blacks and whites are absolutely equal on every level, surely the blacks in 25 years will have then, become completely equal with the whites in academia." And obviously, nothing could be further from the truth. And the delusion to believe that at the time truly astounds me. I cannot believe she actually thought that. But it sounds to me like you're saying, basically, Sandra Day O'Connor thing, the evening was getting late.
No, but no.
And they were like, "Oh, we gotta
No,
make this happen,"
here's-
kind of
here's
like,
what-
right? But
here's
that's
what-
not why.
Here's what I'll
Is that
say.
really
Here's
why?
what I'll say, like in
It's a fascinating
defense of
fact.
like American black people, is affirmative action like morally worked as long as you had like there was like a clear majority and a clear minority who had legitimate historical grievances. So you have an 85% white country with like a 12%,
Right.
African American,
Sure.
like former descendants of
Right,
slaves.
that kind of makes
population,
sense.
you know,
Yeah. That
population.
makes sense in a
That-
very clear-cut way. I agree.
The moral
Sure.
argument for that, like, feels like even today feels like pretty like strong.
Yeah.
The problem is like post 1965, you have all these other groups coming into America,
Right.
who have absolutely no relationship to either, American enslaved black people or white people for that
Right.
matter, and the idea that suddenly like those people are going to get preferences.
Right.
I guess what I would say is like people,
I see what you're saying.
I've seen a lot of people in like various threads say that, this started earlier, and I see the point, but I think affirmative action was like a sort of quota for American-born black people, which given history like kind of makes sense,
Right.
whereas what DEI became was like a quota for white people.
Right.
Like things really like switched from like we need like a certain number of like American-born black people because like we owe them because like we really did screw them. To I mean you can the audience may.
The audience isn't gonna say anything, but it's more just like, as I don't want to get you in any trouble, but as Muhammad Ali said, like, I mean, I don't want to.
I think the point about like the switch between like there's
I mean, a
like,
million people have been enslaved, right? There all sorts of people have been enslaved.
I guess what I would say is like it makes sense culturally that American black people really are in some sense like more American than
Yeah, absolutely,
than
100%.
than me.
Way
And,
more. Well, not
and-
but yes. But they are absolutely in every way inheritors and heritage Americans. Not even the most racist
Right, no,
motherfucker would ever say that black people aren't heritage Americans. They are.
Once you have that like extended to like Sarah Rao or whatever,
Right, yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense anymore.
Right,
Like-
it
like-
just
like-
loses its completely.
and like that's
yeah.
what.
No, I dig it. I see what you're saying.
Nicole, one of you can judge a man by his enemies. Nicole Hannah Jones has been attacking me on Blue Sky. Like,
She's
like,
16, 19.
Yeah,
She's
spinning out. But I think
crashing
like,
out.
what she
She's crashing
doesn't,
out.
you know,
Yeah.
this project actually was bad for like American-born Black people because it subsumed them into these other people who have no real legitimate historical grievance.
Right, at all. And they're the Red Guards, you know. I mean, these are the Red Guards. Like you see that there is no more impassioned anti-white person than like a Asian or Indian girl in college, and their hatred for whites. Did you watch the Matt Walsh documentary?
Oh yeah, we saw it together.
We saw it together. Yeah, remember that? I remember when they go in that room where it's like, what's her name? Is that Sarah Rao?
I think that is
yeah,
Sarah
yeah.
Rao.
Sarah Rao was like telling, she's just like so certain that white men must be destroyed. You know?
No, but I think all of this is sort of a story.
And it's all just because
I think all of
she's
this is sort of
resentful.
a story of stolen valor from like American-born Black people because like, and you know, women of previous generations. Like we grew up like how many millennial women do you know who have faced like sort of like deep, you know, maybe in tech a little bit. Like I'm not gonna like you know say never, but as a general thing, like I don't know. You know, basically sexism in the workplace had been solved by Y2K, or at least by 2010.
Yeah, well, it was certain.
Maybe
no,
not.
I don't think so. I think you know I feel very strongly about this particular topic, which is that I personally think that the reason for all of this is a gendered reason. I think the reason for all of this shit is gendered. And I think that basically what happened is you have the 19th Amendment in whenever the fuck year was at 1920. That's also the year they shut the border, by the way. You know, they shut the border like 1920 to 1960.
Yeah, but that's why we had
Right.
an American. I mean, that's why we had a population in the 50s that
Right.
was like the most.
Yeah, so they shut down the border basically until the Civil Rights Act, or until Hart-Celler, which is 1965. And everybody says that that was all like Kennedy assassination weird shit afterwards. And so, but anyway, you have the border shut, you have the 19th Amendment, you have the 18th Amendment right in a row. And as I always say, they're not, they're there obviously for the same reason, which is you have the rise of women, and then you have 80 years of women in the workplace. And then you, in 2012, look, everybody marks zero barrier, you included. Everybody says the year things changed was 2013, 2012, right? That's what
Well,
everybody
I
says.
said 2014 in the article, but
2014,
it's because of
2013.
things that happened
Yeah.
like in 2012, 2013.
So why did that happen? Why that year? What happened? Gamergate was that year.
I don't know,
Everybody
here's
talks
the thing,
about
like
this.
to this day, I don't know what Gamergate is. Like
I
it's
don't
just-
either.
it's just- I still do not understand.
I still don't get
like
what it is. No, I know.
who the
Who are the
protagonists
people?
were,
Yeah.
like what happened. I have some like vague understanding that like
It was
something
Jessica
happened.
Valentine, or what is it?
No,
yeah.
No, it's like personally, like
Right.
I was addicted to Grand Theft Auto
Really?
when it came out, and that was the last video game I played because I realized that I could, you know, I could just do this for the rest of my
Really?
life.
You were? I was never a gamer. I never.
No, I wasn't. I mean, the truth is, I wasn't really. Like, I played a lot of Madden in college.
I played. Well, I played.
But then I was like, you know what?
Do
Like,
you remember Ludacris?
Oh,
Madden?
yeah.
Dude, the best.
But
That was one of
the Gamergate shit was like, I was like, I had no idea what was happening. I mean, I've seen some Twitter threads, but like that was ground zero of all.
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
But I still don't know what happened.
Well, I think it was basically that like these game reviews were being. It was like a
Gamed?
girl who was like,
Like
hanging
who
guys.
was the
and,
girl?
that was
Who were the
game.
guys?
It
Like
was-
what was the game?
I think it was also like the time where like gaming was like getting sort of undermined by like girl developers or something. Anyway, look, my thesis though really is something happened in 2012 to 2014. Something happened. I was there, by the way. I was working at 72 and Sunny at this time, and I saw it happen. So I witnessed this happen. I witnessed it happen live. And I remember there was a girl there who was super hot, but like kind of like, you know, septum septum piercing hot. You know what I mean? But like Asian American.
I'm still giving you shit. Everything Ella is hot.
I don't think Ella's hot.
Ella.
Ella. Oh no, I love Ella. I love Ella.
Not Ella.
Not Ella. I love Ella. Ella, if you're watching this, hit me up. No, just kidding. But no. So something happened during those years, 2012, 2014. Something fucking happened. What happened? In my view, what happened is what, I think the other viral piece of this month or whatever was the same thing, which was the great feminization by, Girl McGee.
I've told you this before.
But I really do think that's what caused it. I think there was a demographic tipping point inside the companies where it went from male, it was like 50% men, 50% women. Suddenly that managerial layer tipped to 60, 70% women, and that just changed everything. I think that just completely changed everything because they were operating on a different level. Like they were doing something. This is what the Longhouse is, right? The Longhouse is a organization that is basically feminized, right?
I mean, I see it, and I think that a lot of these. I mean, I think that the prime beneficiary of like the last decade is probably white women, like overall.
I'm with you in your ending. I think your ending is completely correct. I don't blame the women. I don't blame the people. Like as you say, it's completely absurd to blame. Dude, so I moved here with a friend of mine from law school. He was black. He was one of my best friends in law school. I was white. He got immediate jobs at every single fucking place. He got a writer's room job. He had no writing experience. He was a very smart guy, but no writing experience, immediate CAA, immediate writer's room, immediate blah, blah. I watched this happen and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. But I don't blame him. It's not his fault. He's showing up. He's taking the opportunities he's given, right? I mean, that's not, so I completely agree. Anybody at home saying that they begrudge the black woman who showed up at fucking Warner Brothers and was given a job, get the fuck out of here. If you're a white guy, you would show up, anybody would take this job. No. The idea that woman is supposed to say, oh, this is wrong, don't hire me. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, give me a break. Of course they're gonna fucking take these jobs, right? So I completely agree with you. You shouldn't blame them. You shouldn't blame the recipient of these things. But that still leaves us of whose fault is it, right? So who actually is to blame?
I mean, it's a tough question. Like honestly, like I think it's really a case by case basis. Like there's a character in my story, the Brown provost, who led the DEI search at Brown to diversify, and he's like a 6-year-old white guy, and was so successful in this he left academia to take a job at Apple to make several $1 million a year doing nothing. And,
yeah, I remember this. Yeah,
and it's like I don't know, that guy's kind of to blame. like
totally.
Like
the ladder puller. The ladder
pulling.
box.
Like I think the people to blame are also just the people, who. The idea that like I owe a debt because like Larry David got a job is so crazy. Like, I'm a human being who lives in society who wants to just like live in a society that works and like is like relatively fair. Like the fact that Larry David got a job in 1985 like does not materially impact my life other than that I sort of like enjoy his stuff, And I don't know. I think it is you want sort of like a larger villain. I think the villains are all pretty much localized. Like any sort of like senior white guy, or and for that matter, like, junior person who's like, it's good that it happened. Like, I'm happy to blame, like who, went along with this shit.
But why were they going along with it? There's that great part in your piece where you list 3 showrunners: Ryan Murphy, Noah Hawley.
Well,
whatever the
did you
fuck.
watch? Did you watch Hollywood? The Ryan Murphy show. It was like the worst show that was ever on.
No, the Hollywood. What was that?
It was a TV show.
And it was Ryan Murphy.
It was Ryan Murphy
I like some of Ryan Murphy's shit.
from like 2004,
Mm.
like Nip Tuck
Yeah, Nick Tucker.
or OJ, People versus OJ.
I love.
Yeah, that was great.
Poker was great.
But
So
Holly-
he does have the ability to make good shit.
But Hollywood was honestly the most offensive show I've ever watched. Because like the thesis of Hollywood is like the problem with America in 1948 was that like black people weren't properly represented in Hollywood. So like basically the story is like these people come to Hollywood. From everything Ryan Murphy like sort of tells us about their lives, they are completely, it's sort of like a boomer window into DEI. He like believes them to be completely untalented. Like they show no promise of being talented. It's not like, oh man, like this guy's a great actor, this guy's a great writer. Like everything they do is bad. And then they get like a movie on. And the final scene of this show is they are at the Academy Awards winning an Academy Award for like a sort of like African American made movie in 1948 because like the Academy, and then there's this, and then like a black sharecropper is listening to it in Mississippi, and he's like, and he smiles because he's finally, the sharecropper is finally represented.
Oh my god!
It is like no, but it is like the most like, boomer tier.
Ryan Murphy.
No, it is like astounding in its like sort of
In its toxic boomer,
and its
toxic boomer
implications of
Yeah.
like what all of this like Ryan Murphy clearly believes that like none of these people are qualified, but
Right.
also
they
that
all
like,
deserve exposure.
that like
That's all
had
that
this
matters.
had somehow some black person won best director in 1948, the
yeah.
civil rights
Yeah.
movement would not have been necessary. like Bull Connor would have just been like yeah. So you have like that.
Insane.
I mean, anyway, you should. It's like a doc.
I didn't even know this
I've
existed. I've never even heard of this.
maintain
I've
that like,
literally
if
never heard of
academia exists in 100 years, which I don't think it will, like on a syllabus, this will be
This will
taught
be the
as like
this
as
will
like
be
a
the
sort of,
boomer, the
like,
most boomer
like as
thing
like this is how people like thought about things
just pure propaganda.
in this like insane like.
Oh God. Well, but does this implicate the post-World War II? Here's where we talk about the Jews. Does this implicate the post-World War II consensus? Because this is what everybody's trying to tell us now. Everybody's trying to tell us that the entire world is being held up by the narrative of World War II. Is that true?
I mean, look, like as a obvious Jewish person, my narrative involves World War II. I think that the post-war order for like a while was pretty good, and I think all we're obviously past that, so it is what it is.
Well, but do you think that this is, what Martyr Maid says is this is the major support beam of the entire Western world, is the understanding of World War II. Do you think that that's true?
I don't think that it like particular,
Yeah, I don't really think.
I don't think
that's
it like
really true.
matters that like okay, like
Yeah.
like I'm sorry people think Hitler was bad, man.
Yeah.
That's what I would but
Right.
first also like has Martyr Maid seen a Gen Z survey? Like they don't care.
Yeah, I think it's, well, I don't know. I agree. I don't think World War II is the support beam. I don't think that that's true. I think World War II is something that happened.
The post-war-
I don't think it's I don't think it's the post-war consensus. The post-war consensus.
Post-war consensus like rested on like solo American power, post collapse of the Soviet Union.
Right.
And that's not true anymore because China is China. And also the capacity of Western countries to assimilate immigrants, which is like, it's a completely separate problem from, the Holocaust. Maybe the Germans felt guilty in like 2018 or whatever and had taken a bunch of, Syrians, but like, I don't see that as like the
Yeah.
crucible of.
I really don't either. I think that that's sort of like.
No, but also like the
I
thing
think
is,
that's
it's
sort
like,
of
it's
the
like,
code.
it's like that is, we are past that.
I mean, it is important, but it's just like, okay, yeah, we all watch Schindler's List. That doesn't mean that like Schindler's List is our religion. You know what I mean? Like that. I think that he's putting too much into it. It's not.
Well,
I mean,
look,
it is important.
I
but
think-
it's
look,
not.
I think-
it was more that America, like again, like the genealogy of America being anti-discrimination is much deeper than World War II. It's like that goes way back.
But I mean, to be fair, there was like de facto, like de jure discrimination, like past World War II.
What is that? What do you mean?
Like the civil rights, like like separate water fountains, like that did exist past World War II.
When were the separate water fountains? When was the Black's water fountain
I
only?
mean, up till like the 50s, up till the late.
But we're
50s.
talking about, aren't we talking about like two places in Mississippi? We're talking about like
No.
a photo op in Mississippi of one water fountain. Like that wasn't the norm. Everybody thinks that's the norm.
No.
That wasn't like the norm.
I don't know. Maybe I'll reveal my Jewish libtardness. But like, look, like I remember going. I don't remember where I was exactly, but I was somewhere in the South, and there was like an old movie theater we went to, and there were like two water fountains like suspiciously like close to each other. And like it
Well,
was
right, but we're talking about like one place, man. Like that wasn't like the norm. It's not like every single place was like colored people only. Like that. What you're talking about, like Indiana and like maybe Georgia. Like that wasn't like the normal thing going on, was it? I mean, maybe it was.
I mean,
I really don't.
I
know.
don't. I don't feel like competent to speak to that.
Yeah.
But I think that like it definitely existed, and like, but I mean, just to get back to like the subject at hand, like the idea that because of that, like an Indian American woman should be staffed on TV shows instead of me, like it's pretty weird. Like.
Well, right, an Indian American woman. Did you ever see the decline of one of the best threads I've read on Twitter in a long time was the decline of Pitchfork?
That
Did you
was
see
great.
that?
Yeah.
So good.
No, and no, but I think like culture became like this sort of like proxy politics, which is bad for culture and made everything kind of worse.
Wait. What do you mean by that? What is culture is proxy politics?
No.
Is this
No.
culture?
It's
What does that
basically
mean?
like if you sent me like a trailer for a movie, like anytime between 2010 and now, and gave me like a bio of a critic, I could tell you exactly like what they thought of the movie.
Yeah, sure.
It's like just predictable and boring. And that sucks for culture. Like it's just like that is not a way to like move forward in an interesting way. Like, I mean, here's the thing, like, and this is what I think people both on like the sort of left and like hard right don't understand. It's like if we have to like live together in this country that we have, that we love, or some of us love, hopefully. And the only way to do that is to sort of limit these like identitarian ideas,
Right.
like Lee Kuan Yew style.
Right.
But
That's the Singapore founder?
Yeah.
And what did he do to limit identity stuff in Singapore?
I mean, any expression of racial hatred is just like
Really? That was like a policy
Yeah.
of his.
No, and also
Interesting.
beyond that, like immigration, like they have to keep the exact ethnic mix that exists. So like the overseas Chinese Singapore, like have different birth rates than like the Malay But any immigration that comes in has to reflect,
Has to be the same mix.
has to be the exact same mix. So like,
Interesting. So wait, who was Lee Kuan Yew? Like how did this happen? Do you know this? Do you know this story?
I would just, Kumli Drapka, who's like my favorite
Yeah, I love
Twitter.
Drapka. He's great.
He could weigh in better
Really
than
good
I. But
And he also runs that great UK aesthetics account. So
he also runs the Finding Kumli Drapka account and the Finding.
truly, he's a real G. Whoever that is, Kumli Drapka, hats off. Good job.
I think probably a Jew, not Sudan,
Definitely.
because he's never said anything anti-Semitic, which everyone else in the sphere
Has said some
does.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Probably like a really smart British Jew out there.
But
What's up, Kumli? What's up, man? I know you're listening.
yeah, Singapore. Yeah, I think the idea is like you have to have an accord to move forward. And the accord that of the last 10 years is like bullshit, obviously, and we need a new accord that just is like.
What do you mean an accord?
No, an accord is just like the way the society agrees to run itself. Like we can't run ourselves on, like white men today owe a debt for their fathers for whatever reason.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like America's extremely against those sorts of.
But that's what happened for like.
Well, so what? But in the episode with Tucker and Fuentes is doing his thing, and then Tucker says, as a Christian, we must never judge anybody by their, anything besides their individual, right? So like, do you think that?
Do I think that Tucker are you trapping me?
I'm not joking. No, you don't have to answer. No, but I'm just saying, like, forget Tucker and Fuentes. We don't have to talk about that. But I'm just saying, like, the issue that I took with Tucker in that, and the reason I'm, like, kind of on Fuentes' side in some ways, is, like, okay, so are we supposed to not judge anybody by their population at all, ever? Like, no. Like, obviously, we should have the root of all comedy is making fun of the group differences, right?
Sure.
If we didn't have group differences, we would not have comedy because it's fucking hilarious.
It's like my favorite Curb Your Enthusiasm line, where Larry's like, "What's an acceptable room temperature, Larry?" And Leon, he's like, 85. It was just like such a good moment.
Exactly. So it's like, come on, like you can't completely disregard group identity at all, right? I mean, I think there has to be some level of recognition, and I mean, it is real. You can't ask people to completely disregard their stereotypical views of groups, right? Because I mean, come on, like, right? That's also freedom in a way.
No, I mean, like, I mean, as the libtard that I am, I just want to go back to the 90s, like, in many different ways.
Yeah, where it was fun. It was like Dave Chappelle, like Dave Chappelle
it was
style.
just
Like,
like,
let's make fun of the thing. Let's talk
it's
about
like-
it.
it's
Yeah,
like-
that's what I think is best too.
Like hating people doesn't get you anywhere.
Right, and it's like funny, like like make fun of people, but like also don't give everybody a chance. Also, like it's like
No, and I
give
think
everybody a chance,
that's
a
what's
shot.
like what's most like sort of like tragic about the last 10, 15 years is like that was a pretty like we were raised with that, and that is like the thing that we were raised with was like like race blind, generally gender blind. I wouldn't say like I think the gender thing was like a little different.
The
but
gender thing is just different. I mean, like again, anyway, I don't think it's like do.
No,
The gender
but-
thing is
no,
just
no,
such
no.
a different conversation. I think.
But
I mean, it's like
but I think like the idea is like we're different, but we're all Americans.
Right.
And like that is like good. And like I don't know why. And what's crazy is that like I do think that the left destroyed. Like I never like look. I'm a a Jewish guy, like pretty Jewish looking.
You're not that Jewish.
I mean, I could be Arab.
You could definitely be Arab.
And
You
and-
could
and-
be anything.
and-
You're
and-
one of those guys. You could
in
be
any
You could
like
be anything.
Mediterranean country. Even I went to like northern.
You could be
I went to northern
English
India.
or
I went to
Arabian.
northern
Like anything.
India.
Yeah,
They thought
literally.
they thought I was.
Yeah.
They were
You're one of those people that's like
like
anything.
ethnically ambiguous.
I would believe anything. If you told me you
Um,
were Filipino, I would believe it. I'd be like, oh, he's Filipino, of course.
But I think like that, basic idea was fine. It was fine. And it was destroyed by the left in the last like 10 or 15 years.
Well,
Like I never thought of myself
by the left,
like-
but was it by the left or was it by the regime? Because did you ever see? Of course, you have the chart of like racism, the word going skyrocketing after Occupy Wall Street. It goes like skyrockets in the media. Don't you think it's kind of like a divide and conquer thing?
I mean, a little bit. I just think I just think that the idea that I was raised as like a sort of like 90s like libtard, and I think that was like pretty much the best
Yeah, I would
like,
agree.
accord we could come to
Yeah,
in
Michael
America.
Jordan. Michael Jordan.
Yeah, like
Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld, exactly. No whites. No.
Who are the real whites there?
All right, no, we need a white person. Can we get so the whites?
Frasier,
Frazier, and we have Frazier.
Kelsey Grammer,
Okay. No, but we do need a white representative. That's the problem. Do we not have a single?
Justin Timberlake.
Okay, JT. Who else? Britney Spears. She's
Yeah,
definitely.
but
a white
she's kind of like she's kind of like a minstrel show.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird.
Larry.
What a
kid.
player. What a
kid.
player.
Who else do we have? Any football players? John Elway? No, that was lame. Who else do we have in the '90s? Do we have any white people?
Who-
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Oh,
No,
oh,
no.
Clinton. Clinton was great.
Who
Remember,
was-
like
who was-
peak
who-
Clinton with playing the saxophone? Oh,
Who was
amazing.
the
They should have just let him fuck unlimited girls.
who
That
was
was really.
Jeff Foxworthy.
Or Al Bundy.
Al Bundy. Yeah, Al Bundy.
Yeah.
Later on Modern Family and a different family.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So he just an absolute sitcom kid. Sitcom fucking
Not
king.
just sitting on those residuals.
Wow.
Yeah, no, the 90s were like I don't know.
That was the peak. That was definitely the peak.
Yeah, it was like Empire post Empire.
That was
like
Empire.
Brett,
That was
like
pure
Brett
Empire.
says.
Well, because it was Empire that we didn't even know we were in.
No,
You know what I mean? We
yeah.
didn't even realize
No,
we
no,
were
we didn't
there.
realize like how fucking good it was.
Yeah, because
And
we
how-
all thought it was just like, oh,
This is how things are.
Dan Quayle's trying to censor Eminem. You know, like we were like, whoa, oh no.
No, I'm no, I remember going to I remember going to Morris Brothers, which was like a Upper West Side boutique it's owned by Jews, and its exclusive thing was selling like large black people clothes to Jewish preteens. So you have like the
Like Averex.
you have like the salesman come up to you and be like, "Do you need some gin codes?"
Yeah, dude, yeah. I was so part of that. Yeah. Dude,
And it was great. And like, here's the thing, like
Echo,
it was
Mark
it was,
Echo.
it was great. And like I think that America's only gotten more diverse since then, and I think we need to just like
Stop immigration.
No, I mean, I think
Need to close the borders.
no, look, I think like
It's okay. You can go up and down. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be one or the other. you can just be like, okay, we're gonna close the borders for a little while, and then we'll reopen them later.
Right.
It's like there
No,
are
no,
times it doesn't have to be. It's like this is the thing that people don't get. It's like, how about we just close the borders for 60 years? That's okay, right? It's like when you're sober. It's like sober October. You know, like you gotta like sometimes batten down the hatches and then open them up later. It's not
No,
it's not like
I
a
think
big
it's,
deal.
no, I mean, borders wise, like the thing that no one likes to acknowledge and like is that after 1925 or whatever the immigration ban was, like that led to like the very cohesive
Right.
culture of the
Exactly.
1950s and you know even the 60s, which were like a youth rebellion against the establishment. It was like an entirely sort of like a, you know, it wasn't like driven by like ethnic or racial resentment in that sense.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so, you know, I'm not, the idea that we should have unlimited open borders just because it's like a moral thing to do is
So
wild.
stupid.
Is
So
like,
dumb.
no, it also devalues like what is here. And
I
I
know.
think that I mean back to the piece, but I think
It's
that,
just like, dude, you can shut it down for a minute. You don't have to just have it endlessly open forever. Like that's ridiculous. Like it can go up and down. So wait, I have to ask this. I think we have like 10 minutes left. I have to ask, as a New Yorker, Mom Donnie,
I mean I'm like a
beautiful campaign, great campaign,
great optics.
and you have to admit the whole branding. So
The branding was
so
great. As
especially as a leftist.
As-
Fuck. You have to
Um,
love it at some level, but also hate it because you're a Jew, right?
I don't like hate it on that on those terms. I think that what it symbolizes, like more than anything, is just like the decline of like Jewish power in New York,
Yeah.
and you know, I think that
But why? But because De Blasio was also a fucking commie.
no, but no. Here, the thing about Noam Donnie that no one recognizes is like all his which is what alarms me personally. I'm not expecting sympathy from your viewership, but what alarms me personally is that
I get like 10,000 views on these.
all his
I don't know who the viewership is. Some people.
all his politics
Yeah.
are downstream of like anti-Zionism.
Right.
And it's one thing
So-
to be sort of like ambiently like Israel's huge.
No, he definitely.
No, he said that in interviews.
No,
He said like I've seen like there's like documentation of this. Like
Yeah.
the reason he joined the DSA is because it was like anti-Israel,
Yeah,
not because
so-
he like wanted everyone to have like rent for free. It was
No.
because the primary thing for him, which is
100%,
bizarre because he was
totally
like
agree.
because his
Yes.
family was a Ugandan who was like kicked out by Idi Amin for being
Yeah, whatever
Indian.
weird shit they are.
Um,
Fucking Mom Donnie.
But so it's all downstream of this. His one axiomatic belief is that like the existence of the Jewish state is the worst thing
in the
the
world.
problem in the
I know, it's
world.
insane.
So to me, this is just like
As if like
I think
if you deleted Israel, as if that would solve any of the
I
problems.
think there are
It would solve none of the
reasonable
problems.
questions about like American support of Israel in various like incarnations.
Are you a Zionist?
I am a Zionist.
You are a Zionist?
Yeah, why shouldn't the Jews have their own homeland?
I don't know. I don't know.
But
Did you do Birthright?
I did not.
Have you been there
Oh yeah.
many times?
I spent a year in Israel.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. How was that?
It was like good, but also alienating because like I'm not, in the end of the day, you try to hook up with like hot girls and they just like would not talk to you.
That sounds like a personal problem.
No. Here's like my particular brand of being like a gay libtard that's like worked in Brooklyn. But like you go to Israel.
You do have a certain thing. I will say, girls do like Jacob. I don't know what it is. He does have a weird magnetism for Americans, but they're because they're trashy. Because the Israelis are trashy. That's why you have zero trash vibes. If you were in Albania, you would be the least desirable man in Albania.
We should go to Vegas together.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like you have a certain upside to like the urban.
Yeah,
thing,
no.
But to the
No,
to the,
it was
to the
irrelevant.
disgusting gym rat people.
No,
right?
it was just, I struck out for a whole year.
Damn.
I hooked up with a couple Americans who like happened to
Wow,
us.
the Israelis hated you.
The Israelis said no.
They want
had no.
nothing to
Had,
do with you.
it's like, yeah,
Fuck,
get the
why?
fuck out of this.
Why? Why? What happened? Why is that?
I don't,
I didn't like Israel. I hated it, actually. I hated their stupid little mini fruits. I hated those stupid
when you on a birthright?
Yeah, well, here's the apple, and it's like a little mini apple.
I mean,
I hated that. I fucking hated that shit. Yeah, I just felt like I was being propagandized the entire time. Because I was on birthright, that's probably why.
No, I mean, you sign up for that. I don't know,
Yeah.
Like to me,
I don't like the Middle East. Period. I also hated, you know what my least favorite country on earth? Morocco. I fucking hate
you know what,
Morocco.
bro? Like I will co-sign, not on Israel, but I'll co-sign on Morocco because I remember I went to Morocco.
The whole Middle East.
I went to
I
Morocco
want nothing.
in the year that I was in Israel, and I found it the most like overrated fucking country.
Terrible.
Also, the cuisine, like you can get
Terrible.
you can get like this like
It's the
dump,
same
this,
shit.
Like, tagine.
Yeah, oh, it's a tagine. It's a
Oh, you
tagine.
cook the rice with
Yeah,
the thing
the
in the
tagine
thing.
is like a microwave dinner. Like it's like,
Yeah, but
Like, that's what that
imagine
is.
a microwave dinner and then
Yeah. Oh, it's a microwave dinner in a little triangle thing. Like fuck you. I hated Morocco. Fuck Morocco. I don't like the entire Middle East. Just fucking delete. Nuke the entire Middle East. Also India. Middle East to India. Okay, it's fine. But look, I don't know enough about Israel. I haven't.
No, what
been there.
I'll say is I almost found the like sectarian differences charming. Like, did you go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre?
No.
There?
What's that? What is that?
That's the. So basically, that's where I believe people think Jesus was crucified.
Oh.
But it's all based on like a 16th century Ottoman accord between various groups. So they make the Ethiopian Christians sleep on the roof.
Oh yeah.
The Catholics get like some prime real estate. The Greek Orthodox get some prime real estate. But then the Protestants hilariously were like, this wasn't where Jesus was crucified. We actually like bought that up, and we have our own place where Jesus was crucified.
Really?
But there's a ladder in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre that has not been moved since like 1860. Because like in order to do anything, you have to have the agreement of all of the different churches. And no one has been able to
Get the agreement.
it's like this ladder's been here since 1860.
Well, dude, what I think everybody should know on this pod is the Western Wall that all the politicians are forced to kiss, or otherwise we'll kill you. Tell me to network. Be careful. But
Not JD. Didn't JD avoid it?
it's good. It's good. Thank God. But that wall is the original wall of the old two temples. The old two temples, the site of the most holy place in all of Judaism, is now the Dome of the Rock, which is a totally Muslim site. There are like 14 entrances, 13 are for Muslims only. The one other entrance to the Dome of the Rock is for like all other people.
No,
Right?
my brother.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Somebody-
No, I think
check.
you can't. My brother's friend managed to get up because he's like an Iranian Jew, and he like said the whatever phrase in Arabic you need
To get in. Yeah.
I mean, eventually the temple will be rebuilt, and
Will it?
probably by some lunatics.
I don't think they're gonna get it, man. Because they would have done it. Wait, what's so weird is the Israelis will murder, or not murder, whatever, war. Look, I didn't mean to say murder as if it's like bad. I believe in the total murder of everyone. But like they'll go and like kill every person in the West Bank. They'll kill every person everywhere. But they will not simply retake the temple. Why won't they do it? Why don't they just simply take the temple? If they're so pissed, if they're so mad, why not just take the Dome of the Rock? It makes no sense. It's very weird.
I think, first of all, no, these Israelis are not like religious.
Right, they're not religious. They're fucking
religious.
lefties.
No, they're like Arab right wing.
Do you know Herzl was obsessed with the who were the fucking Hitler people that were up north? You know what I'm talking about.
The Hitler, like
The
Hitler people up north.
no, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Like up north is the Druze and the Syrians.
No. The very warlike people that were like not the Austrians, the Prussians. The Prussians. You know, he was obsessed with Prussians. He was completely obsessed.
And
And
it turns out, probably rightfully so.
Well, right. He was completely obsessed with the Prussians, and he was like, Jews should be like the Prussians. But he was like kind of like a LARPing bitch, wasn't he?
He was. I mean, yeah. He was. Look, Zionism is like a result of like 19th century European nationalism.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And what's crazy is that I don't know if have you ever read The Jewish Century by Yuri Slezkin?
No.
It's like a Russian.
I don't read
historian.
books at all. So I definitely haven't read it.
Yeah, Isaac didn't read my article until like 7 days.
I did read it. I didn't just listen to it. I did read it. I actually read it cover to cover. But dude, if there were more magazine writers like you, I would read more.
But
Because it's emotional. The thing about Jacob's article is it's emotional. It's emotional because you start with yourself and you end with yourself.
It took a long time
And
to
you say-
come up with that structure.
Well, and you say, what do I tell my child?
I mean, what do I tell my like 2 young?
No, you're right. No, I mean, dude, it's very effective for a reason because you're completely fucking right. I mean, it's hard to take, but you're completely fucking correct.
No, I think there's
You're so right.
Like the idea that it wasn't that bad and it doesn't matter.
No, it does fucking matter, man.
Like
It completely
how do you
matters.
tell? It's like what's John Kerry's like famous line before Congress? Like how do you tell a man that he's like the last man to die for a mistake? It was all bullshit. Why did we do this for a decade?
So what will you tell What will you tell? Tell the boys?
Well, there was
What did you tell them?
a different ending once to this that I deleted myself pre-editing, but the ending was someday they'll ask me and I'll tell them what I think and I'll say like sometimes you lose. And that was like more pessimistic.
No,
than,
what you had was much better. I'm very glad you didn't put that in. Sometimes you lose. What does that mean?
No, I think the idea. I think what I'll tell my kids is like, you have to tell your kids to do what they want to do. Like I don't know, I'm like a stupid libtard. Like
Knowing your kids, I feel like they're going to be completely fine. No matter what they do. They're such like total forces of nature that they're just going to like give a fuck. Like, I'm really not worried about your kids of like all kids, but like, yeah.
No, but I also like separately, like I do think like having kids is like radicalizing in a way where you're like, it's like one thing if this happened to me, like the idea that this could possibly happen to my kids is like so insane.
But
like,
it's not that insane, right?
No,
It's not like they're being like, again,
No,
like this is the
no,
thing.
no,
It's
but
like-
that's what I'm saying.
It's more about the bait and switch. It's about the bait and switch. That's the fucking problem. The problem is not the quality of life.
Sure, I tell my wife.
The problem is the bait and switch.
I tell my wife my
You
kids
know?
should they become HVAC repairmen.
Right.
And
That's the
we
issue.
should pillage the nest fund to
Right.
go do some like.
Well, and that's why that drives people so crazy because it's not. We have been told that we live in a certain place, and then that place was not real, right? And that's fucked up. You know, that is really fucked because, as you just said, if you could have made much better decisions in your life if you'd known there was a 10% quota, like right. If that had simply been transparent to you, you know.
Yeah.
And you had to deal with, and I had to deal with, decades of frustration because we had been told one thing and the other thing was reality. You know?
No, and
that's
I don't-
fucked
I don't
up.
think it really-
We all had to spend a decade languishing in shit, right? You know?
Basically, like
Yeah.
we didn't have the opportunity to say like, okay, there's a quota. We're gonna like
Yeah.
go around the quota.
Right. If they just
You know,
been
and, like,
transparent
no,
about
like,
it, just
like,
be
like,
transparent.
no, no,
You're right. You're
But
right.
the truth is like, and I do blame myself because like in most ways they told us. Like they didn't tell us like explicitly.
No,
But,
they
like,
didn't
but-
tell me, man.
No,
They
but
never
like,
told me.
you like got the sense like.
No. That's why your article is so powerful because people like me didn't really think about it until I
I mean, I didn't really
started talking to you about this. And then I started being like, oh shit, I got fucked by this. I got fucked really bad. I did everything I was supposed to do, just like you, right? I fucking killed it in law school. I was at the top. I passed the bar. I did every single fucking thing I was supposed to do. And I still got fucked, right? So, like, that's the, you know,
Yeah,
that's the
no, I mean,
fucking bottom line, right?
it's tough. It's tough to think about like what, you know, what would have been, like if you had been born in 1955, you know, on so many different levels, like, you know.
So what you really want is to be a screenwriter.
I don't. I mean, like at this point, and I think like my critics are fair in saying this. Like it's dying. Like there's nothing for anyone. But I mean, part of why it's dying is because like they didn't make shit for 10 years that like appealed to most people. But that's what I wanted. You know, that's what I remember I was the editor of this like stupid Ivy League gossip blog, kind of like a Gawker Jr. in like 2008. And I thought at the time, like, oh man, you know, these, you know, I don't want to be writing about the people like doing things. I want to be just like the guy making the movie or making the TV show. And, you know, there was this moment that like brought it into very clear relief where me and my writing partner had written like a pilot about the Kushner family, and we had like pitched, and unexpectedly we had gotten in front of like a studio head who told us that we should. We didn't at the time. We ended up getting like the rights to the best book about the Kushner family.
Dude, this is some crazy shit, right? It's some like video at the
Yeah, no, it's like
video-
you know, filming your brother-in-law fucking a
yeah,
prostitute.
and then you play the video at the like the wedding,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Yeah.
right before the
Holy shit,
um
that's actually really.
But
insane.
the-
You're right. No, it's a great story.
no, it's like
Insane
the most
fucking
American art. It's like sort of like it's great. I mean, it's a great story. It's just
Yeah.
like perfect. But the studio head was like, why don't you get a job at the, the studio head was like publish an article in the New Yorker, and then,
Oh
and then,
my
and then,
god.
and then we can option the story for, and then we can like make the thing. And I'm like, so you're telling me like I'm like 37 years old at the time. Like I can go back I can get like a fact checker job at the New Yorker. after obviously like, best case scenario, because like I wouldn't, but like I get a fact checker job at the New Yorker after 6 years they let me write one article about the Kushner family, and then I come back to you and say like, here's the intellectual property that like we need to like make this thing.
Well, but you kind of did do that anyway. Because you really do take your time with these fucking things, man. You've had 3 total, ever, right?
No, I wrote like a.
You've had 3.
I wrote like a pretty basic bitch. Why does the LA Zoo suck? Like article like in the summer.
So it was, why does the LA Zoo suck? Jews, missing Jews, missing Jews, missing white men, and then missing
There's a different.
whites.
There's a different. And then I wrote like a.
Or sorry, missing white literary men, and then
Then I
missing
wrote like
whites.
a review of the David Denby book about eminent Jews.
Dude,
For the.
you are a great magazine writer. You just have to accept.
No, I mean
You are a
listen,
great
I
magazine.
appreciate the compliment.
Obviously.
Um,
Obviously so. Obviously
in some other, again, in like some of it is structural, because like if it was like in 1995, like you get $200,000 for an article.
But you didn't want that, though. So, in a way, you're also lost, though, because you wanted to be a fucking gay screenwriter.
I mean, like I would have.
You wanted to be a screenwriter. No, you did.
Yeah. I would have taken
Submit
it being like a prestigious magazine writer. No, and I think like
It didn't. It doesn't
this
exist. It doesn't exist.
this already came out, so I don't feel so.
Do you know that I wrote this very elaborate piece, much like yours, where I did months and months of research on the worst landlords in LA?
All Jews.
No, actually, less than in New York. It was like 8 out of 10. The other 2 were an Indian and a Chinese. But I did months and months of research, and I published it with Curbed.
How long was it?
Very long. It was like your piece,
How much do you get? Like $300?
1,000, and I had to pay $800 in data production from the city. I had to go to HDICLA, which is like the housing department of whatever, and so I made this perfect fucking piece that was all about the worst landlords in LA. And they came out, and I said to them the night before, I said, you need to fact check this fucking piece. I was like, I didn't fucking fact check it.
Shout out to Compact for what it's worth, who I did also similarly say you need to challenge me on this shit, and they did.
And they did.
Yeah,
They did.
they did.
An editor actually challenged you on it?
No, like a fact check, like a fact check.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, no, they did
No, no,
nothing.
no, no.
They did nothing.
In
Curb,
much-
Ezra Klein, fuck you. You had some Alana bitch.
No, I had a Italian dude named Steven.
And he really cared.
He like did enough that like it like made it better.
No. So we published this thing. It went mega ultra viral immediately. It was like 1 million views out of the gate. And then 5 out of the 10 landlords that I named threatened to sue.
You took it down.
Well, so they came to me, and I was such a disagreeable little piece of shit. But they were like, "Can you give us your data?" And I didn't realize at the time that like my data was really good. Like my data was perfect. Like I didn't make it up. Like I did the work that you did. Like I did months of like investigation.
Super fun,
Like I my data was actually fucking perfect. But I thought everybody else is doing this. Like I didn't realize that I had the gold.
The goods.
Right? I didn't realize I had the goods, which I did. So I was like, well, why are you asking me for that? Are you trying to like I was a little too aggressive towards the people. And they just took down the article.
It's gone.
You can find it.
Wayback Machine or like?
Yeah, you can find it. It still exists. It's called The Worst Landlords in LA. And, you know, whatever. I got some weird calls from a couple of them. They were trying to, like, kill me and shit. But, like, you know, it was fine. It was basically fine. I mean, you know, whatever, dude. Like, now that I'm make a lot of money, like, I'm kind of like, fuck you. Fuck you, poor people. You know, I
Yeah, I
just
mean,
don't
like,
care. I don't
look,
care.
I mean, it's all just like downstream of like your fucking Facebook identity.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what's next? Let's finish with this. What's next for Jacob? We got. Oh my God. I'll get it. Our fish is loose. No, but what's next for Jacob?
Not sure at all.
You don't know at all?
No, I mean, we'll see. You know, it's the response has been very gratifying, and
I don't think you realize how big this is.
I do realize.
It's like maximum big.
No, you know, given
Total maximum. Complete total maximum. Which is so funny because I've known you for so long, and it's just like you're the most unassuming guy.
No, I don't like the attention at all. Like I find, like I did like this Fox. I did this Fox News hit. I did this Fox News hit where they like tried to pin me down from the right.
Right.
Like, don't these libtards deserve their fate? And no one, you know, people deserve an equal opportunity. That's all I'll say.
Right, but you've now wrecked shop on the entire fucking globe.
No, it's crazy.
I don't think
crazy.
you
I
realize.
mean,
You literally changed the course of history. So what do you now do? What does a man who just changed the course of history now do?
I think now I focus on like, you know, we're trying to get our kids into school, and schools are all disasters.
So you need money.
I mean, I do need money, but like, and I'll take, you know, if someone wants to pay me $1 million to say anything, I will say it.
No.
Don't worry, I'll say it.
Don't say
Like,
it. Don't say it.
just-
You wouldn't. That's the thing. Anybody listening to this knows that if they came to your door and said, say this, you'd be like, no, I can't really do it. I can't actually do it.
For enough, everyone has a price, man. Everyone has a price.
Dude, I one time said to my uncle, who's like a very rich Jew, I was like, I could never be bought. And he was like, and he like stopped what he was doing and he looked at me in the face. He said, everybody has a price.
It's true.
Everyone
It's true.
has a
It's
fucking
true.
price, dude.
Like,
Everybody
some people's
has
prices
one.
are higher.
It's true. Everybody does. And he was right. Everybody does have a fucking price.
No, but I think that the decline, you know, we're trying to find a place to send our older son to school, and it's hard. It's, you know, like they have fucked up education so hard.
But it's also like not that big. It's like he's so young, man.
Sure, no, but,
You know
like,
what I mean?
but the point is, like, when I was talking to my wife about it, is like, there's a big difference between like you know, and she's from Omaha, you know, and there's a big difference between everyone, you know, 85% of your class reading at grade level and 52% of your class.
No,
reading.
it doesn't matter.
Of course,
It
no,
doesn't
no.
matter.
You're-
You're gonna teach your kid.
No,
matter what.
My
You
kid,
just have to make
no,
sure they're not beaten.
No,
beaten up.
my kid will learn how to read.
Exactly.
I'm like confident
Come
my kid will
on.
learn
It
how to
doesn't
read.
matter who.
But the point is like if like nearly half of the kids around him don't know how to read, like they're like in one.
Where
way
did
or
you go to
another.
elementary school?
I went to a Jewish school in New York.
In Manhattan,
Yeah.
and it was like everybody's learning to read.
Yeah, everyone's fun. Yeah, the Jews don't fuck around with that.
What did your parents? How were they in Manhattan? What were they?
My parents were ex-leftists who we're kind of middle class. So my dad, at the age of like, once he had kids, like went to Wall Street for a brief period of time.
Right. I remember.
We had some money and then we didn't.
Right.
And now I'm paying for my parents.
Right. And your dad's such like a funny little.
He's just
Funny
like,
little
he's-
guy.
my dad is great.
No, he's
Yeah.
hilarious. He's like a hilarious little like Larry David. Not Larry
just
David.
like, he's like a boomer Jew from Brooklyn.
Right.
Who
So
like-
he did like a little stretch on Wall Street and made a hell of money.
Yeah, but then they lost it all because like they're retarded.
And where's your mom? I've never met mom.
My mom is in.
Oh, right.
in,
Sorry. Yeah, there's
in,
some
it's
sort of
okay.
problems.
My mom is in the process of dying, and it's
Yeah.
horrible. And every week I go and feed her once a week.
And she's in some sort of like nursing home.
Yeah,
How old is she?
she's young, but she had like dementia really early.
70s?
Yeah, like she's 74 right now.
Sounds
No,
like
but
it.
no, but it's been going on for 10 years. Like that's the problem.
Fucking I did. Wow, 70s. Yeah, our parents are
No,
getting into the fucking 70s.
I have a piece I want to write about like Graceland, which was the greatest Paul Simon album of all time. It's just like the soundtrack of my youth. But it's so good, like, and as like an epitaph for the boomers, like South Africa can't keep the lights on. The boomers are dying. But like this album, they used to dream. They thought, remember that line from Obama that like, the arc of history bends towards justice. That's what the boomers really believe.
They totally. Yes, totally.
And
Totally.
it doesn't. The truth is, it doesn't at all.
It doesn't bend.
The arc of history just
It
does
depends
what,
on the
what
word.
it,
It
does.
does anything
It
that
does.
it
It doesn't
wants.
bend. It does.
Yeah,
It just fucking
it just
goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I
Um,
so agree. Completely fucking agree.
And like
And right, and we all grew up with this idea that it bends towards
justice.
justice. It does.
And like
do
here's the thing, like
justice.
South Africa can't keep the lights on. Like my mom is dying in a nursing home in Canoga Park. But like
No part.
like Paul Simon like wrote these
Valid,
words that were
deep
just
valid.
like so he would be canceled today if he went to like apartheid South Africa to like record this album.
Right.
He did it, and it was some of the best music that's like ever been made.
Yeah.
Like that's part of like my cultural problem with like this like last 10 years of leftism. It's like Graceland is like probably one of the best albums ever made.
Why is it called Graceland?
Because he
isn't
had
that
he
the
has a whole
Elvis?
he has a whole bit about going to Graceland, going to Elvis.
Graceland.
Yeah.
Fucking
Um,
Paul Simon.
No, but like
I
King
don't
Jew,
really like-
King.
I
No.
don't really-
You
I don't like.
can-
I
you
don't
can-
like Paul that much.
Listen, like
He's such a
growing up, I was like much more like a Dylan head.
I'm a Dylan. I'm a full. My parents, Dylan.
My
My
parents.
parents, Dylan was
No, but
literally God. Literally God.
Dylan is.
Dylan and Leonard Cohen, of course.
Yeah. Well, that
Everyone
that
had
like
Dylan song.
that like thing between them, where one time Leonard Cohen, they were like together, and Leonard Cohen was asking Bob Dylan. Leonard Cohen's like, how he had just been an infidel, so it must have been like 1975. It was like, how long did you take to write that song like I and I? And Dylan's like, I don't know, like a couple of hours. And Dylan's like, how long did you write Hallelujah? That's a great. And Dylan like recognized Hallelujah as like an incredible song.
When did Leonard Cohen release Hallelujah?
Late 70s.
Ah.
Like but
78.
Dylan recognized before like Jeff Buckley like did
Yeah,
it,
of
like
course.
that Hallelujah was an incredible song.
Yeah.
And Dylan goes.
It's a Christmas song. Haven't
Yeah.
you heard
and,
it?
and Dylan goes like, how long did you take you to write Hallelujah? And like I was like 7 years. But the truth is, it was like 10 years. He wasn't just lying.
He was going down.
It was like 10 years. And like, the sort of like pace of genius goes slow.
Yeah.
Hallelujah isn't, one of the best songs ever.
Ever. Oh, absolutely one of the best songs ever written. I love the Jeff Buckley version also.
I mean,
It's
that's
so
fucking-
good.
you know.
Typical Jew Christmas song.
I mean, there are a lot, you know, yeah,
Typical
we
Jewish Christmas song.
my son goes to like a very Jewish school. Like we, yeah.
Well, so what do you think of this whole thing of Dylan being like a poser? Do you think? And then we, of course, we also have Lou Reed at the same time. So we have Lou Reed, we have Dylan, and then we have fucking Leonard
I just
Cohen.
think
It's
I-
like it's the full
No, I mean
Jew
they're all
spectrum.
fucking geniuses in like different
100%.
ways, and like
And all so good and real and fucking.
no, and like Dylan like fucking like.
And Dylan really is the king. He
Dylan
really is
no,
the
no,
king.
Dylan
He's
is
the absolute
Dylan
king.
is the absolute king. And I actually, honestly,
Absolute king.
I do not believe Dylan. Dylan is like the least woke person you've ever met.
Right. Oh yeah.
And Bob Dylan, like, yeah, he's just fucking. Have you ever listened to his like divorce diss track?
No. Who did he get divorced from?
No, from
How
Sarah.
many divorces
From
did
Sarah. He got divorced from Sarah in the
Sarah
70s.
who?
Sarah Jew face, whatever. Like Jacob's mom. But like.
This is like the blood on the tracks.
No, this is Blood on the Tracks,
This is
Sarah.
blood on the
Yeah,
tracks.
yeah.
Sarah, okay.
But there's an unreleased version of like the kid, you know, and there's he's singing this like you know the song "Meet Me in the Morning."
Yeah.
from Blood on the
So
Tracks.
good. So
But there's a
good.
different version of it, which is like the same tune and everything, and it's like the kids cry out for mama. I tell them mama took a trip. And it's like so fucking good. It's like imagine like the best Kanye diss track.
Wow. Yeah. No. Well, he had great diss. Idiot Wind. Great
Idiot-
diss.
no,
Idiot Wind.
yeah.
Incredible diss track. Who is that against?
No, and like, here's the thing.
It's a
Here's
great
the
one.
thing, I
Oh,
watched
Baby Blue. Have you seen?
The Shaman. Yeah, of course.
No, but have you? First of all, okay. Have you seen what's the No Direction Home? 60s documentary where he goes after
Yeah.
fucking Donovan,
Yeah.
and he sings him "Baby Blue," and that was then used by Jonathan Franzen in the thing to like in Freedom to like set up the whole
I don't
premise of
remember
Freedom.
Freedom at all. but
Dude,
yeah.
Franzen was good.
Franzen's
Franzen
good.
was good for about 5 seconds.
I don't know. I mean, Franzen's great.
Roommates with DFW. Where are you at on DFW?
Great.
Love.
Love.
Love DFW.
Love.
Oh fuck. I hate him. I hate him.
Oh man, no,
I hate
his
it. I think it's
his-
so
his
bad. I think
description-
everything he does is
his-
fucking.
no, you're wrong.
Yeah,
You're
no,
completely wrong.
fucking
His
lame.
description of getting stoned for me, I'm an upper kind of guy, but like his description of getting stoned is completely, which is like creates this like complete paranoia of self and.
I like the cruise thing. But every time I just tried to reread recently brief interviews with hideous men, and I fucking hate it.
Read it.
I was like, this is the gayest shit I've ever fucking
just
seen.
again.
I've never tried to even begin.
You should.
to
You should.
church us. Is it good?
It's incredible.
Okay, we gotta get out of here.
All right, later.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Later,
All right,
guys.
we're out. We're out. Hello. 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 Wow. Well done. Well done. Very well done. We got many thousands of